Hey guys, another motovlog coming to you from Kilo Delta. Oh, wait a minute. Well, let me check my work order right here. This is not a motovlog video. This is a guide for Dream Golf VR. Oh, okay, guess we'll have to go with it. Well, it's in two sections, some general tips and then a hole-by-hole set of tips. But first, we must get sage advice from famous YouTuber PewDiePie.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Welcome to the general tips section of this video. The first tip is the settings. You're going to want to put the golf ball sensitivity to low. That's going to enable you to hit straighter lines a lot more often. Now the second setting you're going to want is to adjust your putter to the correct length. You're going to want it when you put your putter down to be almost touching the ground already. As you can see, it's a little short for me. So I click it 2. That's my setting. 2 clicks. 1, 2. You're also going to want to select the appropriate color ball. I find the black and the white and the purple to not be too visible. So I always go with blue. I love me some blue balls. Now that we're all set up with all our settings the way we want them, we're going to want to do some practice shots. We need to make sure our swing is good enough to hit a nice straight line and get those long straight putts. If you can't do that, you're not going to be able to shoot under par. And the first thing in practice you do is you take your non-dominant hand, place it down on your mahogany desk without spilling your coffee, and you're good to putt. Square yourself on the ball and take a nice easy swing, remembering follow through. And that's how it's done. My recommendation to everyone is to take some good time on this practice green here. I have 301 aces. Every time I start up the game, I come here and make sure my swing is good.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
And here we are! Hole number 1. After your long practicing of lots of putting and strokes, you are ready to actually engage the course. Now, for this one, this is a 4-bank shot to get a hole-in-one. The key is to hit it here, so it goes this way, or here. So, when you're in practice mode, practice going slightly to the right. Take a breath. Try to still the coffee shakes. And it bounces. That's pretty good. As long as you get par on each hole, the last hole is a guaranteed under par. And I'll get to that at hole 18. Again, slightly to the right. Put a little bit of juice on it, not too much. And it bounces back. Hole in one.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
And here we have the second hole. The key to this one is to hit it and aim about 3/4 of the way up. So let me show you directly. You want to get it about here. If it bounces off the top, it's fine. If it comes down here, that's fine. All you're trying to do is get it somewhere around here. And then you could get an easy par. This is kind of a luck hole-in-one because I have yet to find the exact way to hit it to get a hole-in-one with any sort of consistency whatsoever. So, square yourself up. Take your breath. Take a look at where you want to hit it. Visualize the shot. Put a good amount of juice on it, but not too much. And it arcs up, comes down, and it's coming back, and wow, that was pretty close. And it's a pretty easy shot from here. Nice and easy, don't overhit, and there you go. That's the second hole.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Hole number 3. Now, on easy mode, you're going to want to go ahead and hit it straight in, straight as possible, and go straight in. But with this hole here, you could sometimes hit it hard enough to bounce the hole and then have it bounce off the back and come back in. But my objective on this is just to get par. So I always hit it just to the left to avoid that hole right there. By the way, these trap holes are traps. Just wanted to let you know. You need to hit it just hard enough to get over, but not too soft that it bounces back. And that wasn't a very good shot for me. Okay, square yourself up. It's a pretty long putt, moderate long putt. Visualize, and it's in. It's easy as that.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Hole number 4. Looks pretty straightforward, but it has a little hill here and 2 traps. Now, if you hit the ball hard enough, you can go over this trap, but the hole-in-one is kind of luck. So what I do is I aim a little to the left, hit it just hard enough to try to get to as close to the hole as I can. Then I could get the par. Remember, every hole, you don't have to go for a hole-in-one. Just go for the par, because you'll get under par with my 18th hole tip. There we go. Nice and close. Now, on most slopes, the ball is going to want to go in the direction of the slope. So if this was a lot steeper of a slope or a longer slope, I would kind of aim more to the right because the ball would pull to the left. But on this one, I'm just going to aim straight for the center because that is not much of a slope. If I was up here, maybe I'd do some off-center aiming, but on this shot, I will not. Ooh, straight line sinks the ball again.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Now, hole number 5. This is the first one that I got a hole-in-one in ever, and it seems like it's pure luck, but I have found hitting it just hard enough to make it start going down the slope in this area right here gives you the best shot for a hole-in-one. Here we go. Oh, that is the rock that I've been talking about right there. There's an invisible rock right in this area. So Isaac, if you're listening to this, I don't know if there's anything you could do, but those invisible rocks are sometimes annoying. So I'm going to do this one again, try and get a hole-in-one. Here we go. Breathe. Okay, nice and easy. That looks pretty good. And it rolls around, bounces, and... Oh, okay, so as you can see, a hole-in-one on this hole is very possible. And the trap hole has yet to catch me. So hitting it where I told you to is pretty good on hard mode. Then a nice easy par, and there we go.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Now this one's going to take a little practice for you to hit it between those 2 columns right there. So put it on practice mode, come down here, take a few shots. When you hit a shot, come back here, slam the post right here to reset your ball. And you can keep hitting for a while until you get the nice and good center line. Breathe. And I just hit the column. Good job! So when you hit a column, it's going to end up somewhere around here. So I could try to hit that shot, but the trap is right there. So I just kind of tap it in, let it go wherever. And that was actually kind of lucky. That was 3 shots, and guess what par is here? It's 3 shots, it's par. Whoa! So, even though I messed up the initial columns, I still got par. So let me actually get it between the columns. It's going down, right past the holes. Going to play some goalkeeper, don't need to. Is it going to come back in? Nope. And Stop right there, stop right there, stop right there. Ah, see? And here's a 2-stroke hole. So that's 1 under par for this hole, which is very doable. Now if you do hit the column, these are angled such that it will always be behind these columns if you hit it almost every time. So if you get one stuck right here, which is quite frequent occurrence, all I do is I bounce it out, get it into this cauldron right here with all the angles going in, play goaltender, and the ball ends up somewhere around here, and then it's just an easy putt in. So then you get par. So if you hit the column, it's not that big a deal.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Welcome to hole 7. Now this one is pretty straightforward. There's a funnel with a ramp underneath headed to the hole, which is centered on the green. The problem is this ramp gives the ball a lot of velocity. So what I tried to do to counter that is to nice and easy hit it straight in so that it doesn't have any extra velocity while it goes down the green. What normally happens is it bounces off and it ends up somewhere around here, which is a kind of a medium putt, but it's very doable. This is a par 2, so as long as you don't mess up this part by like launching it like this, I think you're pretty good for just making it go straight down in, comes down, bounces off around that area. Then here's where the straight line really matters. Straight in, visualize, breathe, and there's your par.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
And here we have frustrating hole freaking 8. Now, the frustrating part about this hole is this ramp. You have to hit it pretty hard to get it over. But when you hit it too hard, it can hit this hole and pop right out. And that's kind of annoying. So what I try to do is aim for about here, so that as long as it bounces somewhere in here, I'll be fine for a straight second shot. So you loosen yourself up a little bit, you know, stay loosey-goosey. Take a breath or two. Square yourself up, aiming just off center of the left corner. Do plenty of follow through on this one. And that was actually pretty good. The bounce back comes back. Oh, that was a pretty good shot. That's kind of lucky too. Normally I get it bouncing back to about here. And that's par.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
What? Is this hole number 9 already? I've been enjoying this video so much I couldn't even keep track of which number we're on. This is probably 35 minutes into the video and I want to watch more! Well, just kidding. Well, this is hole number 9, which is a pretty fun one. The hard mode puts the trap right in the middle, which makes a difficult hole-in-one. This is hole-in-one. This is hole-in-2. This is hole-in-3. But fortunately, hole number 9 is 4 strokes. So even if you were to miss and get it into this area back here, you're still good for par. Just because you missed that first one, you're still good for par. What I always try to do is par and 2, because that's 2 under par. So I aim right here. When you aim for the middle, try and get that hole-in-one. You have a frequency to hit right here. You'll bounce off here, bounce this way, bounce up and go over. So aiming for this is actually pretty difficult. To get that achievement, yeah, definitely do it. But if you're going for an under par game, aim right here. Or aim right here and don't hit your mahogany desk. Alright. Square yourself up. Slightly to the left, aiming for that second ring right there. Put a little bit of juice on it, not way too much. And there we go. I hit exactly where I aimed. And this is the second important part. Goaltending. Just leave the putter here as it comes down. Sometimes it falls straight in. That is the standard shot right there. It normally falls right here every time. That's a not bad of a distance to get a par 2 on a par 4 course. And boom, that's 2 under par. Man, this freaking hole isn't as difficult as it seemed to be at first. Actually, when I first started playing, this is what I tried to do. I come here, I'm like, guess what, I'm just going to pop it over there. Wow, that actually worked. Well, I guess that's a strategy. Let me try that again. I'm just going to pop it over right here. No way. Okay, so that is a way to do a hole-in-one. Let me do that again. Oh, see, that's what normally happens. Alright, so you told me that you can almost always get par on this one, even if you get the outer ring. Let me show you how that's done. Now this one comes down from this hole, except when I'm wrong. Okay. That's weird, I thought I hit this ring. Well, anyway, so we're all the way back here, right? Now, to hit it and make it go near the hole, that's going to take a lot of strokes. So I like to kind of take a little shortcut, as it were, doing the pop method. Let me adjust myself so I'm not on my mahogany desk, where I'll spill my coffee again. And bounced back too far, but I just avoided some good amount of strokes. Now, because I don't have a straight shot, I'd normally try to bank it. I'll bank it there, bank it there. So that'll be a 2-bank shot. Let's see how lucky I am. Not too much juice, but enough. Oh, okay. So I didn't get 1 under par, and this is the 4th hit. There we go. That's par. Even though the ball started all the way over here, par is doable. With a little pop-up, a little bank shot, and a nice little knock-in.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Okay, so you're not going to want to look at the windmill at all. This is what messes you up. Whenever I tried to time it, I always timed it so I perfectly hit the blade of the windmill every freaking time. You freaking windmill. Oh yeah, Isaac, I want, after you sink the putt, to be able to destroy this thing. Make it breakable once you sink your putt. Be like, break it! I hate the freaking windmill. God, make it breakable. So now that I told you not to look at the blade spinning, just entirely look away. Square yourself up, breathe, and hit a nice, good shot straight. I don't know if you can see it, but there are lines right here where the texture is merging together. So there's little lines. So I hit it straight down the line. Then I goaltend, which wasn't needed. And here's the par 2. So it's pretty easy to tell if you're going to come close to the trap or not. If it's going straight down here, you're pretty good. If it's over here, it might hit the trap. So you want to jump over here and goaltend. When you do goaltend on this one, you will be 1 stroke over par, but that's fine as long as you don't hit that freaking blade.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Time for hole 11. We're shooting under par or at par at each hole, and we are well on our way to getting under par and getting ourselves onto that global leaderboard. On this one, the hole-in-one is right down here. That's a pretty far shot at an angle. So I only did this a couple times just to get the hole-in-one, but I also found going through the curved ramp has a lucky chance to get a hole-in-one. So whenever I'm playing for under par, I go for the 2-shot hole. Essentially, you want to give it enough juice to go up the ramp and come back down. If you slam it, it'll bounce back a lot and it'll have a longer second putt. So I take in the scenery, I relax, I look at where I want to hit it, square myself up, and that's the shot you want. This nice easy hit in, and that's par.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Hole 12, the Citadel. Now, on hard mode, going right is a trap! Okay, so you're going to want to go on the left side from when you're looking down here. Now, if you hit it well enough into this hole, into the tunnel, it'll go straight in the hole. That's a hole in one. Now, the problem is you have a trap to the right. So you have to hit it pretty straight on right here. Not too hard in order to make a hole in one. But my goal is to get par, which is 3 shots for this, and you can get a hole in one. Yeah, absolutely. So what I do is I hit it just hard enough that it could be a hole in one, but not too hard. If I hit right here, that's going to bounce all the way back here. If it bounced around here, I'm still pretty good. I could nice tap it back in and get close to the hole. So nice visualization what you want to do. Nice and relaxed. It's not all in the hips, but it is some in the hips. It goes through and comes out. If I put a little more juice on it, it would have been a hole in one. But it's pretty close. And there we go. 1 under par for this hole.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Now this one is pretty good chance of getting a hole in one, about 1 in 10 for me. The goal, of course, is getting it to the right side of this funnel, and it pops out right out the middle. Don't bother with these two. Don't ever bother with those two. Now looking at it, you're going to want to hit nice and easy right here, so it bounces. So I'm going to aim. And it goes in just like that. It comes out the middle. And hole in one. Boom!
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
And here we are. Hole 14. The anthill. This one you have 2 traps on the back, which normally you don't have to worry about unless you miss and the ball ends up right here. Where the ball ends up right over here. And you hit your mahogany desk with your golf putter. So the goal is to try to get a hole in one on this on the first try. If not, the goal is to get par, which is 2. Now on this hole, I don't know if it's an optical illusion or not, but whenever I aim directly at the hole, I always pull right. So what I do is I aim at the curve. I aim right here. If it kisses the curve, that's fine. A lot of times it'll kiss the curve and still go in. You want to aim at the curve. Breathe. Square yourself up. Stay loosey-goosey. It's all in the hips. Now here we go. And, oh yeah, you don't want to slam this one. It looks like it's far, but you don't have to put as much juice on it as you think you would. And it's just like that. Boom, baby! Now let me just show you what you have to do if you miss. Oh, wait a minute. Let me show you what you have to do if you miss. There, like that. Wow, it's between the 2 traps. I'm good. If it is right here on the trap, just go ahead and knock it a little bit to the left or right, because you'd rather take the 1 stroke than have to reshoot it from over there. Square yourself up. Visualization on this hole. On this shot right here is very important. Visualize what you have to do. And boom.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Number 15. It's almost identical to the practice hole. Try to ignore the left and right pitfalls, because you don't want to target fixate on the pitfalls, because you're going to hit there. Target fixate right here. Don't even look at the hole. You put just enough force on it to actually get there. And if it misses, it misses a little bit, and there's a par 2, so you don't miss any strokes. This one I always make sure I remind myself to breathe. Nice and easy, just like the practice hole. Get rid of those coffee shakes. Jump over here. Watch it barely miss, but man, that's a par 2. And boom! That's par. I keep saying boom. Why am I saying boom?
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Hole 16. Now, you have two options, the ramp or going this way. Don't go this way. Go for the ramp. Because you've practiced on the practice green so much, you can hit that straight shot that jumps it over the ramp. Fortunately for you, the trap is behind the hole. So if you bounce it and happen to get a hole in one, great. If not, you'll end up somewhere in here, which is an easy shot. Breathe. So in the hips. And I went off to the right a little bit, but that's fine. Because we're going for par, and par is 2. Because I can hit it straight, I get par 2. There you go.
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
Hole 17. This is another one you want to go on practice mode and learn how hard you need to hit it. Because that's all it is. It's how hard you hit it. You hit it too hard, it jumps up and over. You hit it too soft, it rolls back down, which is annoying. The trap right here doesn't even bother me. That one doesn't really bother me either. Because I always aim for the center, so it just drops right in and rolls towards the hole. And the hole-in-one on this is just pure luck. Breathe. And there you go. That's a practice swing on this hole. Oh my god. I got a hole-in-one on it. I don't even have that on the course yet. I don't have the hole-in-one trophy for this on hard mode. I admit it. And I just did it. On practice mode. Dagnabbit!
Everyone knows the golden rule of holes. You gotta enter them.
And here we are! Hole 18, the last one. You're already under par because you've gotten a couple holes in one, and every hole you've at least gotten par. Wait a minute, if I got all pars on this, and I get here and I hit a par, that's not under par. Come on! Well, on this hole you have a 90% chance of getting a hole-in-one with this secret that nobody knows. Oh, probably anyone who's ever played it knows the secret. Well, here's the secret. Just hit left of this shadow. There's a shadow right here. Hit right here. Right here. 90% of the time. Put a little juice on it because it goes up a ramp. And then goes down a little funnel. Comes down in the middle and goes straight in. 90% of the time. So I'm squaring myself up on my target point. Good amount of juice. Except when it does that. Okay, so this is one of those 10% times where it gets hung up. But this is a par 3 hole. I don't know why. It should be a par 2. Just knock it in. Goes down the funnel. Boom. 2. That'd be 1 stroke under. Because it's par 3 for some reason. And that'd be under par. If you hit everything else under par, you get 1 under par here. That's a under par game. And you get on that leaderboard. That hard mode leaderboard. These traps, they're not even an issue. Don't even really think about them too much. Except for goaltending on that one hole down there. Bastard hole with 2 traps right next to the freaking hole. Okay, so I'm going to show you what normally happens. Boom! See? That's 2 under par on the last hole every time. So if you're at 40 strokes when you get here and you're like, hey, I'm at 40 strokes, you're going to be at par. So if you're at 39 strokes, you're going to be at 40 par 90% of the time. And get on that hard mode leaderboard. And those are my tips, hole by hole. Now if you have any better tips than the ones I suggested, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. I'm currently working on the island course, which is a little more difficult than this one. but I think I'll be there soon enough and I'll be able to share those tips I've learned from the island course with you as well. Now the jungle course, woo, boy, that one's pretty rough. I've learned a couple of the holes, but I'm not close to getting below par on the jungle course yet. If you have any tips on the jungle course, I'd love to hear them. I have mastered this beautiful landscape of courses. I can shoot such a good score. As a matter of fact, I'm going to brag about it. If I could get in the building. All my trophies. Ignore those two. Those two are my invisible trophies. It's a full trophy case. Just ignore those. But there's my score. Whoa. That's not right. He couldn't shoot 34 on this course on easy mode or 36 on this course on hard mode. Well, I'll tell you what, partner, I certainly did. That's why I'm an expert at this Grotto course. I'm the world-leading expert. If you look at the global scoreboard there, you'll see my name all over it. I'm at the top of everything. And I challenge you to beat me.